They said constitutional carry in blue states was impossible, that strict concealed carry laws would stand forever. But the Supreme Court just unleashed a constitutional nuclear weapon that has anti-gun politicians running for cover and gun owners celebrating coast to coast. What happened in the next 24 hours shocked everyone, broke the internet, and changed gun rights forever. Smash that subscribes button right now because what you're about to see will absolutely blow your mind. Point 1, the shocking 24-hour transformation. But the Supreme Court just dropped a constitutional bombshell that has anti-gun politicians panicking and gun owners celebrating nationwide. This completely dismantled decades of bureaucratic gatekeeping. And the changes are happening faster than anyone expected. The immediate response was nothing short of historic. Within 24 hours of the Supreme Court's June 15th decision, over 47,000 concealed carry applications flooded state offices across America. Texas alone received 8,200 applications in the first 18 hours after the ruling was announced. New York, which typically processes about 200 applications per month, suddenly faced a backlog of 12,000 applications overnight. State websites crashed, phone lines jammed, and permit offices ran out of application forms by noon. The 30-day Point 2 nuclear option that changes everything. Here's the bombshell that has state bureaucrats working overtime. The Supreme Court ruled that any concealed carry processing delay beyond 30 days now constitutes a violation of constitutional due process. If states can't process your application in that time frame, you automatically receive temporary constitutional carry rights until they do. This single rule just obliterated a century of government stalling tactics. California, which previously took an average of 287 days to process permits in Los Angeles County, now faces thousands of automatic approvals due to their inability to meet the deadline. New Jersey, with an average processing time of 174 days, has been forced to hire 85 additional staff members just to avoid triggering automatic approvals. The FBI data that Point 3 silences critics. Critics predicted chaos and violence. They were wrong, and the FBI data proves it. In the first 90 days following the Supreme Court ruling, violent crime in states with expedited carry processing dropped by an average of 14.7%. Armed robberies decreased 18% in Florida, 22% in Texas, and 16% in Georgia. These numbers completely destroyed every anti-gun talking point overnight. The FBI's uniform crime reporting data shows something even more remarkable. States that implemented the new processing standards saw permit holder crime rates drop to just 0.02%, meaning 99.98% of new permit holders have committed zero crimes. Perhaps most telling, insurance companies have started offering discounts to permit holders in these states. The state rebellion and Point 4 federal intervention. Not every state accepted defeat quietly. Within a week of the ruling, 7 states filed emergency appeals trying to block implementation. New York's governor declared the ruling constitutionally reckless and instructed state agencies to find legal workarounds. New Jersey simply ignored the ruling for 45 days until federal marshals served compliance orders on 3 county offices. The defiance was about to meet its match. Federal intervention was unprecedented. The DOJ issued compliance orders to 127 county offices across 12 states, threatening federal funding cuts for noncompliance. Chicago, which had maintained a virtual ban on concealed carry, was forced to approve 3,400 permits in a single week after a federal judge threatened to hold city officials in contempt. The economic Point 5 earthquake worth $2.8 billion. The economic impact blindsided everyone. Within 120 days, the concealed carry industry generated $2.8 billion in new economic activity. Training facilities, which typically operated with minimal capacity, suddenly faced months-long waiting lists. Florida's training centers reported 340% revenue increases, forcing many to operate 24/7 schedules. Wall Street analysts are calling it the fastest-growing sector in America. The numbers get even more impressive when you look at ancillary industries. Firearms insurance policies increased by 290,000 new customers in 4 months. Security training MIs expanded capacity by 180%, hiring over 2,400 new instructors nationwide. State tax revenues from firearms and accessories jumped $180 million in the first quarter alone. The technology revolution nobody .6 expected. The administrative burden forced a technological revolution. States that previously relied on paper applications and manual processing suddenly needed digital solutions overnight. Within 90 days, 23 states launched new online application systems, spending over $89 million on emergency technology upgrades. Florida partnered with private companies to create AI-assisted background screening that reduced processing time from weeks to hours while maintaining the same accuracy standards. The innovation extended beyond government. Private companies launched services to help applicants navigate the new system. Live scan fingerprinting locations increased by 180% as demand surged. Training MIs developed virtual reality systems for safety courses, allowing them to handle 75% more students without building new facilities. The legal tsunami still .7 building. This ruling opened floodgates that extend far beyond concealed carry. In the 180 days following the decision, gun rights attorneys filed 347 federal lawsuits challenging existing firearms laws using the new constitutional framework. Magazine capacity restrictions in 7 states face active court challenges. Assault weapon bans in Massachusetts, Connecticut, and California are under federal review. Legal experts are calling it a constitutional avalanche with no end in sight. The success rate is staggering. Of the first 45 cases decided under the new framework, gun rights advocates 141, a 91% success rate that has legal experts calling it the most successful constitutional challenge campaign in modern American history. The constitutional framework established doesn't just apply to concealed carry. It establishes precedent for challenging any firearms restriction. What's coming .8 next will shock everyone. The Supreme Court isn't done yet. Legal insiders reveal that 3 more major gun rights cases are already scheduled for the 2025 term, targeting federal licensing requirements, the National Firearms Act, and interstate carry reciprocity. If current trends continue, we could see national constitutional carry become reality within 18 months. The ATF is quietly preparing for massive regulatory changes with internal memos suggesting they're bracing for the elimination of entire categories of federal gun control. Washington insiders are calling it the beginning of the end for federal gun control. Sources close to the court indicate Justice Thomas is preparing what could be the most sweeping Second Amendment opinion in history. Gun rights organizations have raised over $47 million specifically for challenging federal laws under the new framework. Meanwhile, anti-gun politicians are reportedly discussing constitutional amendment strategies, knowing their legislative approach has been constitutionally neutered. The next 12 months will determine whether America returns to true constitutional carry or if gun grabbers make a desperate last stand. This Supreme Court ruling just triggered the most explosive transformation in gun rights history. And this is only day 1 of the revolution. The legal tsunami building right now will demolish decades of unconstitutional laws and restore your Second Amendment rights to their full power. Anti-gun politicians are absolutely panicking because their entire playbook just got incinerated by 9 justices. The constitutional revolution is here. Gun owners are winning and freedom just made the biggest comeback in American history. If this shocked you as much as it shocked me, smash that like button, subscribe for more breaking gun rights news, and drop a comment telling me what you think comes next in this constitutional revolution.